BeesBeavers.com, here with Zach Pulkinen, junior on the BSU football team, kicker, punter. Zach, let's go back to high school and just talk about, did you play football and soccer, or I know you went on to play collegiate soccer, so what was your high school like?
I played all 4 years soccer in high school, and a buddy of mine who actually plays for Minot State right now came up to me, and we lost our kicker. He was a year older than me, and he asked me, listen, you got the big league soccer team, you want to come try and play football for us? And I said, sure, it sounds like fun, so just tried it. I went to football tryouts and loved it. It was really fun.
Is in North Dakota, is there, or where you played, is it spring men's soccer, or did you have to have both in the fall?
Football and soccer actually went on at the same time, so I actually didn't even go to football practice. I just showed up for the games my senior year. Just went to soccer practice, basically.
What was that like, just showing up and then having to kick like that? Did you have all the duties of punting, kicking, extra point, field goal?
In high school, I actually didn't punt at all. A guy in my grade, he did all the punting. But they just wanted me for all the touchbacks, because you start kicking from the 40, and they just wanted me to get it in the end zone every time. And we didn't try that many field goals, but I had a pretty good record on PATs and such.
So high school ends, you make the decision to move to collegiate soccer. What was that decision like, and was football in your mind at all at that point?
Definitely was. I actually signed really early, and looking back, maybe that wasn't the best choice. A couple bigger football schools in North Dakota came looking not a week after I signed to go play soccer in Idaho, which is, everything happens for a reason, but I don't regret going to my first year in Idaho, but definitely glad I'm at Bemidji State now.
So you play that first year of collegiate soccer, and now you decide to play football. What was your process like of trying to find a place to play?
I sent a lot of letters out. I hadn't even heard of Bemidji State. A lot of letters, and Coach Yonner actually got back to me. And he was like, we heard of you in high school, and I looked at the campus online and the record, how they won in 2006, and I was like, okay, this is at the top of the list. And I started talking to Yonner, and everything fell into place, and ended up walking on the next year.
What ultimately decided you to switch from soccer to football?
In Idaho, my team, I had to sit down and say, I would always lift extra, curricular, not a part of the team, because the coach, he was going through a rough time, and he didn't really, it wasn't organized, and I felt like it wasn't organized. And I said I couldn't play for a team that wasn't working hard as I was for them. And I don't blame it just on the coach, because, like I said, he was having a rough time, but it wasn't for me after that first year.
So you get to Bemidji State, now you're playing football at the Division II level. Obviously you have to work hard for that, but the first year is mostly kickoffs. Did you feel like you fit into that role your first year well?
I did. It was a lot, going from soccer to football, it's basically you work on just about 5 to 6 things that you just have to keep doing over and over again, repetitions. And coming in, and Yonner told me I'd be right into the kickoff role if I could, if I had a big leg, and I was ready for it. I had a great leg coming off of soccer, and I knew what to do.
The first year, mainly on kickoff, you also got in on the coverage a little bit. I think you racked up, 6-7 tackles. What was that like, Kevin? Did you have to do that in high school? Obviously, you're just kicking touchbacks. So.
Yeah,
What was that like?
Yeah, it was different because, 10 yards back, it was at the 30 then. And they said I could go up with the last line of defense, so I did, and I wanted to get in it because soccer, I always was pretty physical. I got a bunch of cards, yellows and reds, and that wasn't good. But I like the physical aspect of football, so definitely was gonna get up in there with everyone.
Slide tackling is a little different than tackling in
Yeah.
football. Did you have to learn how to properly do that?
Yeah, I still don't think I have the right technique for tackling football, but I try. I mean, I'll do everything I can that they don't get past me. So,
What was the process like then? Now your second year, filling into that field goal PAT role. What was that process like?
it was different because in high school I didn't kick that many field goals, and I think a lot of my success was the kicker before me, Jesse, who worked with me a lot my first year and taught me a lot of stuff and basically had to teach myself. And I went to a couple camps too that helped a lot. And once I got the basics down, it went from there, and higher percentages, making more of them. So that was definitely Jesse Sunby in those camps, and obviously striving to get that number one spot too.
Comparisons kicking off a tee to having somebody holding it for you.
Yeah, definitely it's different. Basically my sight of focus on field goals is just a 6x6 window where the ball has to come in. If it looks right, then everything's perfect, but not everything's perfect all the time. But I trust my holder Mets, trust him with anything, so it's once the ball snapped, I trust him, so it's all good.
So now this year, you've expanded your kicking role into punting. Like you said, you didn't have to punt in high school. You had a year with Jesse again to sort of ease into that role as well. What was that like?
It was good. He taught me a lot. Like field goals, I had to teach myself pretty much, and with his help and more of those camps, I actually got to train with University of Michigan's current punter right now, and he taught me a lot of stuff too. And I mean, first year punting here, I think doing pretty good. Like for being at only my third year total punting, so I think it's pretty good. It's only gonna get better.
What's it like? Sort of a new skill than everything else is having to catch the ball. Obviously, you're an athlete. I'm sure you're coordinated and everything. But what was that process like?
Well, I had to just play catch a lot. Play a lot of catch with the guys, because they got soccer, not allowed to use your hands at all. But yeah, just those 2 years I did number 2 reps, and so I got a lot of practice. Catching all sorts of snaps, bad snaps, good ones, and so far I haven't dropped one, but knock on wood.
What's it like being the kicker? I mean, on defense you can get an assisted tackle. On offense, a short gain is okay, but kicking it's pretty much black and white. Either you fail or you succeed.
Yeah.
How do you mentally prepare yourself for that?
Well, kicking in general, it's basically your fault no matter what. So hopefully it all goes well. Because, field goals, it's got to go through 2 guys before you're successful. And punting, 1 guy, and bad snap can ruin a lot of things. But mentally prepare myself, get out there, get set, go through all my checklists for field goals, for punting, and take a deep breath and have all faith in my snapper and holder.
So you obviously have some sort of checklist or ritual process. Is that still developing, or is that something that you've feel like you've gotten down?
The checklist I think is pretty set in stone right now. For as far as like my college kicking days go, even if it went any further, but right now I think it's good. Checklist now for field goals is that's set in stone. A lot of people say it's pretty goofy, but I have to do it in order to get to the ball where I feel comfortable. I have to do it. And then punts, that's just getting out there and making sure 14 back. And as far as technique goes, that'll change, if anything, but not the checklist.
How about you walk us through your field goal checklist? You say people think it's a little goofy. Walk us through a little bit, and maybe how it works.
Well, Metz will put his hand down, give me a spot, and I'll take my left foot and I'll come 3 back. And then at the third, I'll take my right foot and make sure it's lined up. And then it's 2 over, about shoulder width apart. And once I'm there, it's hard to explain. I gotta stretch my chest out, and then I bend over, make sure my shoulders are loose, bring my left foot back, put it back forward, and take a deep breath and give Metz the nod, and then I'm ready to go.
Did the Mets laugh or smile or anything watching you do it the first time? Like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah, I still get a lot of crap from the guys. They try to imitate me, but none of which have yet to succeed and actually do it right. But it is different, but everybody has their own thing they do. All the kickers have their own style. And just so happened mine's a little bit odd.
Let's go away from the gridiron a little bit and talk about Minot and the unfortunate floods that happened a few summers ago. How did that affect you and your neighborhood?
Me personally, we actually lost our whole basement. And what was actually a positive is we moved everything from the downstairs upstairs and lost very little objects and furniture because it didn't reach our second level. But what was bad is our house is probably the 3rd highest in the neighborhood, and it just slopes towards the river, and not 6 or 7 houses away they lost everything. And for that being a bunch of my friends and actually friends on the Minot State team, they lost a lot.
What was the process like for you, being fortunate enough to have the least amount of damage and having to what did you do to help your neighbors?
Well, lots of my friends, they helped me get all my stuff upstairs and all the furniture and stuff and move vehicles. So once we had that happen and we did as much sandbagging as we could in by my house, we all branched out, and I helped my neighborhood fill and tie sandbags till all night, basically, wee hours of the morning, and helped my buddies get stuff out of their houses, what we could do, because it happened so fast. It rose so quick that we were helping. One instance, we were helping down in the neighborhood, and the National Guard kicked us out, and it was bad. It was just bad. It happened so fast.
What kind of experience is that like? Obviously, you're saying it happened so fast, you really don't have time to think about it, but looking back,
it's like a bad horror movie. You never thought it would happen to you. You see it on CNN, all the news channels about how this is happening in other places, and you don't think it would ever happen in your neighborhood, in your city, but it did, and it brought the community together, that's for sure. But it's heartbreak, all the tragedy. Minot's still recovering from the flood.
Did you have time to do much cleanup once the water went away? I mean, obviously that lasted sort of the end of the summer, and then I mean, you just had to get back to school.
I did somewhat help with that. I worked on the Air Force Base, and they just said they're gonna send people in to help, and after work I'd help my buddies and such. But I mean, I had my buddies also help me. We had to tear our house completely apart down to the studs, and basically that was the last thing I could do before I had to come for preseason.
Was that hard leaving, knowing that there's still a lot of work to do?
It was. I couldn't help my parents at all, which was bad. I mean, my brother, he's getting pretty old that he can help and stuff like that. But I mean, my mom and my brother aren't gonna do everything, and my dad, he's a workhorse, he's gonna do a bunch of stuff. But yeah, it was bad feeling that I couldn't help them out, and I had a report for camp.
So you mentioned throughout this interview that you have some friends that are on Minot State. They come here this year. What are emotions like when you know you got some buddies coming to town?
Oh, it's exciting. I can't wait to see those guys. We give each other hugs before the game and stuff, but when it comes down to it, we go to war, and that's why we're friends, because we have the same mentality, and those guys are great. I hang out with all those guys in the summer, and it's like we play for the same team, basically. Train hard, but yeah, it comes down to it. We go to war, and then we give hugs after.
Well, Zach, thanks for taking some time with us today, and good luck these last few games, and especially against Minot State.
Thank you.